Hi, and welcome to the show again. Today we have Anne Villavieja. She is the founder and director of Virtual Office Angels, and they specialize in the provisioning of pre-selected, highly skilled and professional virtual assistants from the Philippines. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Well, let's just give our audience a really brief overview of two specific topics. One is, first of all, we're all overworked. Everyone is now responsible for a lot more in the office, and there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of details that need to be taken care of, whether it's just process or whether it's online work. Obviously you have some solutions there, but the whole world of virtual assistants, it's a bit confusing to a lot of companies because A, there's trust issues, they don't really know who they're dealing with, and two, they really don't know how to go about engaging that environment for assistance. Maybe you could give our audience kind of a high-level overview of those core topics.
Okay, to start with, hiring a virtual assistant is more complicated than the normal hiring process of, like a worker, because there's various factors involved in matching. For example, there is culture, English proficiency, honesty and integrity, and all of the different specific skills, work experience. Because we're working virtually as well, I mean, trust is a big factor.
Absolutely.
So there is such a thing as some virtual assistants out there, like, just disappear out of thin air to start with. We're dealing with, for example, at this stage, saving time, leveraging your money, and so it's a cost factor and time saving device as well. When hiring a virtual assistant, cost is the major reason for most companies, if not employers, to actually outsource. With 100% on infrastructure and around 70% savings on labor cost, one can literally work less and earn more, leveraging their time and money through the use of outsourced manpower.
Very powerful. And so how does one go about that process then of engaging a virtual assistant?
Normally, you do have, like, out there's, like, for example, Odesk, where you have an array of, like, say, 3,000 overseas workers all over the world that you can actually choose from on a per project basis. So they have a different niche. Like, for example, if it's on a per project basis, and then that's fine. Ours would be more like on a pre-selected, high quality virtual assistant. So ours would be more like it's like more of not a buffet, but an a la carte thing. We specialized in highly selected already, just the cream of the crop. I come from the Philippines and from an HR background. I've been living in here now in Sydney for the past 20 years or more. I've been working as a human resources manager for various Australian companies for the past 18 years. So I originated from the Philippines as well. So it sort of like makes it easy for me to sort of like come from a Philippine environment background and then helping Australian businesses and or, like, all over the world. We're literally, Virtual Office Angels is literally like a recruitment agency for virtual assistant. You have me as the HR manager, and literally you have your own HR department because we have a huge database of pre-selected and professional VAs. So you would need, if you're on your own, somebody to manage VAs from your end, and it's not quite easy because you've got, remember, you're dealing with staff issues in here. You've got retention, you've got absenteeism, you still have, you still have their personnel issues like engagement at the same time. And you're not even sure about the level of performance. So these are HR issues which are actually critical to be resolved while you're actually dealing with on your own side of the business. I think with with all of this addressed, for example, you're saving on infrastructure, you're saving on personal cost, somebody's managing it for you on our end. I think it's really like working less and earning more. So you're able to concentrate on things that would actually matter from your end and doing the things you love at the same time. So that's what we're all about.
That starts to make some serious sense because you know, it's the cultural differences. It's obviously the distance issues in some cases if you're doing foreign, but more importantly, it's just having an interpreter and a project manager all kind of wrapped into one. And I'm not talking like a language interpreter, because obviously they speak English quite well. It's more, I imagine, related to the cultural differences between the two groups. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Good.
I'll give you a typical issue of a normal virtual worker, right? How do you know, for example, if you're dealing with virtual workers, how would you know that they can do the task that you've actually given them? How do you know if they actually can complete it on time at the same time? How would you know if they, you're dealing with confidential, sensitive matters, like you're giving them your, for example, your database, you're giving them your business, you know, confidential stuff. How would you know that they won't, quote unquote, sell it?
Yeah,
yeah.
You need somebody in between.
It's really a trust factor in there. With the virtual office angels, what we do is we protect both sides. We protect both sides in such a way that we take care and manage the virtual assistants, so they don't have anything to sort of like worry about anymore. We handle them, manage their, for example, from absenteeism with and being engaged, which actually provides a higher level of engagement and performance at the same time. Having said that, there's no issue on their end on, for example, we try to make them happy at the same time, and we know how to do it because we're coming from an HR's point of view. And are you aware that if you have if you have happy staff, the level of engagement and performance is higher at the same time? Most businesses and small businesses do not know the managing side of people.
Yep.
They do manage their business well.
Yep.
And I think it's unfair as well to be managing stuff and at the same time doing, you know, like all of the marketing and the sales, and that's where the money is. If somebody can manage this side of the, you know, the human resources side as well of your business, wouldn't that be a factor as well? You know, like a thing to do. That'll save you heaps of time, headaches, and like a lot of money at the same time. So you can do the thing that you love to do, which is most of them expanding their own business.
We've been speaking with Anne Villavieja. She is the founder and director of Virtual Office Angels. You can check out their website at virtualofficeangels.com.au. Thanks very much for joining us today, and join us again sometime real soon.
Thanks.